Hello, everybody, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Janice Thornton here with JT Fitness and Golf. And today, let's talk about don't let back pain ruin your golf game, because there's nothing worse than having your back bother you while you're trying to play golf. So, welcome to the Golfer's Back Pain Solutions by JT Fitness and Golf. And I'm looking forward to teaching you a little bit about back pain and how you can help make it better for the golfers. So, golfers, there are four common areas that typically most golfers have pain. You have pain in your back, neck, knee, and shoulders. Now, today's topic is going to be the back pain. And I will say that, you know, these aren't the only four places that you can have pain by any means. So just know I'm going to cover these four topics over the next couple of days. So just a little bit about me. I'm Janice Thornton with JT Fitness and Golf. I'm the owner of JT Fitness and Golf, and I absolutely love to play golf. I've played for over 22 years, and I also love fitness. I've been in the fitness industry for over 3 decades. So it's fun to put the two together because as I get older, I also want to be able to play golf well into my 60s, 70s, 80s, and hopefully my 90s. And I seriously want all my friends to be able to do that too. So I want to help all of us age backwards so that way we are very active as we continue to get older. Like I said, I'm over 3 decades in the health and wellness industry. For my golf side of things, I do carry the TPI levels 1 and 2 fitness certification. I have the Golf Digest Golf Specialist certification, the Golf Forever Swing Trainer certification, the True Term Pro certification. I've actually written a golf fitness course for personal trainers. And like I said, I'm a bit greedy. I want to help my friends stay healthy and strong well into their 60s, 70s, and 80s. So I have friends to play golf with, quite honestly, and I want to help you get nice and strong so you can play golf well into your however long you want to be able to play. I do play out of Tatum Ranch, which is in Cave Creek, and I am the 3-time champion in a row, 3 years in a row, ladies senior club champion. So I'm very excited about all of that. Okay, so let's dive into back pain because there's nothing fun about playing golf when your back hurts. However, I have a solution for you. So first, let's look at our joints because our skeletal system has been put together in a marvelous way. And when we look at it, it's structured perfectly where we have stability joints and we have mobility joints. But we just have to make sure that they're all working the way that they're supposed to be working. So if you look at our feet, let's start at the bottom with our feet. Our feet are stability. We need our feet to be stable because they take the brunt of our entire body weight. When we walk, jog, jump, whatever we're doing, our feet have to be very stable. Now, when we move up, we want our ankles to be very mobile. Think about in the golf swing, we need our ankles to be able to move. So if you don't actually have very mobile ankles, that can actually affect your golf swing. And then when we move up, we get into our knees. Our knees, of course, we want those to be stable as well. Our knees are a hinge joint. They're made to flex and extend, and very little rotation with the knees. So that way we do have the stability to support us when we do just regular activities. And then we have our hips. Now we want our hips to be very mobile, and our hips do a lot of work each and every single day. And one of the worst things that can happen though is if we start to get tight hips, because what does that lead to? Our low back pain. And I'm going to talk about this in a minute. We have our lumbar spine, our lower back. And when we have tight hips, a lot of times we end up with a tight low back. And guess what? That gives us more back pain. And our lumbar spine is made for stability. It is not made to be rotating all over the place. It's made to do forward flexion and extension with a little rotation, but not much. It's our thoracic spine that is supposed to have all the mobility. Our thoracic spine's made to rotate and do forward extension and flexion. And a lot of times, though, because we do so much sitting during the day, whether it's at a desk, in a car, on the couch, our spine just ends up getting tighter and tighter. And none of that leads to a good golf game. So let's dive into how we can fix this. So let's look at our hips first. And when we have reduced hip mobility, how this plays in with back pain. So this is common to have reduced hip mobility just because we sit so much during the day, and it's really a lifestyle issue for us. And when our hips lack mobility, especially in extension or rotation, the lumbar spine compensates by increasing movement. Excessive movement can lead to strain, discomfort, and over time, chronic pain. Again, our lumbar spine is made to do extension and flexion, not rotation. So when we have limited hip mobility, this can change also the way that we walk, altering our gait. So now we're asking our other joints to compensate for our tight hips, and then other parts of our body can start to hurt as well. And then we also get muscle imbalances with this. So we might have tight hip flexors and get an anterior pelvic tilt in our body. And this can create can tighten our low back muscles and end up with weak abdominals. And this just gives us more back pain. And then our hips are supposed to be a shock absorber for our body. And we want our hips to be able to handle being the shock absorber because it takes pressure off our spine. But again, if we don't have a lot of good hip mobility, we reduce that ability for the hips to actually be able to be that shock absorber. And if you decrease the mobility, you decrease the shock absorption, and then of course, you start having pain all over the place. And that doesn't have to be this way. Good hip mobility can prevent many common causes of back pain. So let's jump into our lumbar spine. So our lumbar spine is an amazing part of our spine because it's created by 5 vertebrae, L1 through 5. And these are the largest vertebrae of our spine, and they bear the most weight when we are exercising, standing, sitting, all of that. They support our entire upper body. They provide support, stability, and they allow movement. For a golf swing, though, what's important is that you have a strong low back, strong lumbar spine, because every time you address the golf ball, you need that low back to be able to handle all of that tension that's going to be there when you are in the address position. And if you're a higher handicap, you're probably getting into that address position a little bit more often. But we do need a strong low back every time we address the golf ball. We also have what's called the X factor. And the X factor is this relationship between opposing muscle groups, particularly between the hip and lumbar region. And when one muscle group contracts or shortens, the opposing muscle group relaxes. That's called reciprocal inhibition. So the X factor is your low back and your hips, your hip flexors and your glutes, and then your low back and your abdominals. So your hip flexors, we have a tendency for our hip flexors to shorten because we sit so much. And when that happens, our glutes, they become inhibited. They don't like to work. They don't want to be turned on. They just want to sit there and be lazy. With this, also, we end up getting excessive arching of our low back. And along with that, then we end up with weakened abdominal muscles. And this leads to the lower cross syndrome. And that is not what we want, because we end up with an anterior pelvic tilt, the arch in the low back, protruding abdomen, low back pain, hip pain, and reduced mobility. So there are things that you can do to help that. Some strategies to correct is to increase strengthening, do stretching, and then also mindful movement. Pay attention to how you move, how you're sitting, all of that. Some lifestyle modifications are going to be ergonomic adjustments, regular movement breaks. So if you're sitting at your desk a lot, make sure you get up and move, because that way you get your body moving, create less stress in your body. Do some stretches, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. And then, of course, stress management will help as well. Okay, let's dive into our thoracic spine. Our thoracic spine is 12 vertebrae located in our mid-back. And our thoracic spine is where we're supposed to have rotation and the flexibility and do all forward flexion, extension, all of that. Our thoracic spine is where that is supposed to happen. But unfortunately, again, since so many of us sit, we end up having a stiff thoracic spine, and then our lumbar spine ends up taking the brunt of that. And that's where we start getting the low back pain, because our thoracic spine has limited mobility. So it's very important that we get mobility in our thoracic spine. Think about your golf swing. On the takeaway, when you are doing your backswing, you're supposed to be rotating those shoulders and rotating the chest around. A lot of people don't do that. And when that happens, that's when you're sliding and swaying in your golf swing. And a lot of bad things happen when we can't get thoracic rotation. When we don't have mobility, we decrease movement in all of our spine. And again, we put that pressure on the lumbar spine. We have poor posture. And then, like I said, in the golf swing, we decrease rotation, which leads to a lot of all sorts of bad swing habits that we don't want. But something that most people don't even think about is our thoracic spine is attached to our rib cage. And what holds our rib cage is our lungs. And we end up with a decreased respiratory function, a decrease in deep breathing function when we have poor posture and when we cannot get, if we are hunched over, that kind of thing, we're not getting optimal lung function, and we definitely want that. So a lot of people don't think about, when it comes to our back, what's happening with my glutes? So our glutes are very important when it comes to back pain. And a lot of times it's because I talked about a little bit earlier of having sleepy glutes. We want to make sure that we don't have sleepy glutes. And I don't know, some of you are old enough to remember when Tiger Woods talked about having his glutes were sleepy. Well, that's truly a thing, that if your glutes are shut off, we've got to make sure that we have them activated, because this helps with your back pain. So when we can, glute exercises are going to be a great way to obviously get your glutes fired up. They aid in the overall health of our back and our hip area. So the glutes are part of the core. I'm not sure everyone actually understands that, but they're the backside of the core, besides back muscles making up our core as well. The core is not just the abdominal muscles, and a lot of people think it's just our abs. And it's really our abdominal muscles, our oblique muscles, back muscles, and glutes make up our core strength that we want to make sure that we have enough of. Okay. So there's an approach to alleviating back pain, and it's the 21-day Golfers Back Pain Solutions. And with this solution, we take care of unlocking the thoracic spine and the hips. We create stability in the lumbar spine and throughout the core. And we definitely turn on the glutes for additional support. And I have the Golfers Back Pain Solutions program. And with this program, we minimize back pain. We improve the potential impact of daily life and activities. And then included in this are a ton of exercises that incorporate a full back program. There's over 48 follow-along exercise videos that help you with your back pain. So I have a few friends who did the back pain solutions, and Sal did the 21 back day solutions. She was consistent most days and found that her back pain decreased significantly, and she had much better range of motion. Bonnie did the 21-day back pain, and she loved it. She said her hips and back feel so much better. She can swing her golf club again and have more mobility. And Phyllis did this also, and she loved the 21 back day solutions. She sits a lot during the day, so the exercises gave her a great break each day, and she looked forward to her new routine every day. She highly recommends it. And what Phyllis did was she would do a few exercises throughout the day, so that way she didn't feel like she had to take 15 minutes to go do this. She just did a few exercises here and there, and it still works great. So the Golfer's Back Pain Solution program is a 21-day challenge. You're going to learn and understand the why behind each exercise. You're going to find out consistency leads to impactful results. So if you're someone who is struggling with back pain and you're tired of it, this is going to be a great program for you, just because now you can finally take just 10, 15 minutes a day to do these exercises and really make a difference in your back pain. You're going to minimize your pain and enhance your movement experience. And again, in the program, there's over 49 videos with the solution. There's a solution pain guide that goes with this. There's tracking calendars, motivational emails, Facebook community, and additional resources. So join the Golfer's Pain Solutions today. I have a new group starting on Monday, October 28th, which is next Monday. And you can scan the QR code or go to jtfitnessandgolf.com/golfers-pain-solutions and take a look there and get signed up. So typically this, the back pain solutions cost $299. However, I'm going to give it to you for $149. Now, because you're watching this video, if you use promo code GolfPain70, you're going to get an additional $70 off. And I'm offering this to actually 30 people. So make sure you go get signed up today so you can grab that extra $70 off. We're going to have a lot of fun in this group. So again, we start on Monday, October 28th. Use promo code GolfPain70 to get that extra $70 off. Go to jtfitnessandgolf.com/golfers-pain-solutions to take a look for more information. So if you have any more questions, you can type them in the comments and I will answer. You can send me an email at janice@jtfitnessandgolf.com and I will answer your questions quickly. So I look forward to hearing from you. And if, again, you have any questions that I can answer, please let me know. So everyone, have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you on Monday.